Welcome back, viewers. If you're just joining us, this is Breakfast Daily right here on Citi TV. So now it's time for us to check out our second story. And earlier on, we actually talked about it, and we've been talking about it for weeks now, and it's finally happened. And it's the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar. It was amazing. It happened over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And like we said earlier, it was a blast. And for those who missed, we have a report on what happened on Saturday. So just sit back, relax, and check it out.
As at 8 a.m. on Saturday, vendors were ready to serve patrons a variety of indigenous Ghanaian meals from the diverse cultures of Ghanaians. Vendors were segmented into snacks and food stands to make it easier for patrons to locate their favorite foods and drinks. At the southern food stand was lined up foods like akpele and fetiridechi, ewokpele and bobitazi, ayikpele, abolo, amongst others. Also, akans were not left out, as meals like fufu and rerenkwang, apapransa, omuto and nkatenkwan, tiozafi, amongst others, were on display.
Our own local foods, like Salman says, it is going to bring more jobs for our people in the hinterlands. I will not say much, but I want to congratulate once again the organizers and, of course, Citi, first in the air. Always on track. Always on track. First in the air, I say. They are bringing competition right to the doorstep of the media fraternity. And I think we need to congratulate them. Maybe I have to use the opportunity to also thank them. They have partnered the Let's Make Greater Accra Work agenda right from the onset. And through their efforts, through their support, through their constructive criticism, we have seen an Accra that is creating an awareness for people to be very mindful of their environment. Rome was not built to the day. So I know that gradually, one day, Greater Accra will work again.
The whole effort is to make sure that the food that we grew up knowing is brought back to the shelves. Just understand that anytime you go to the supermarket, to the shops, every food item that you pick out puts a job on the table for somebody. Now you have to decide whether you want to put a job on the table for a Ghanaian or for a Malaysian or for a Taiwanese. So the more foreign foods you buy, the more jobs you create in other countries. We want to reverse the trend, promoting our indigenous foods, and that's why we are here.
What is the worry? Hey, what is the story? You don't tell him. Hey, Mama, come do what? Hey, what is the worry?
Hi, Daddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Well, I would want to find out. I'm sure this is the entire nuclear family that you've brought here. Why did you choose to come?
The kids, auntie. Yeah.
Okay. I would want you to just tell us, why did you want to come here with the whole family?
I think I enjoy Citi FM and Citi TV and their programs. Obviously, I'm a believer of the Ghanaian agenda. So anytime I realize that there's a station or an entity within the country that focuses on promoting our culture, particularly through exhibition of cuisines, I'm excited to see that we've been able to bring together vendors across the various religions and all of them. So when you see people coming from Volta with their cuisine, Brown Afro with their cuisine, Greater Accra with their cuisine, it's exciting, and I do believe that it is nice to come here and enjoy and also share the moment with my kids.
Why did you choose to come and be a part of this program?
I thought it would be super interesting to discover all the different food culture there is in Ghana.
And so far, what's your take?
Yes, it's very diverse. There are many stands. Everyone is super friendly, and I tried some of the snacks, and it was delicious.
Do you know the name of the snack that you tried?
No, I don't remember, but also a lot of juices that were really good. I couldn't name it again, sorry.
But then, are there other foods that you are hoping to try before you leave here today?
No, I think I will maybe come back tomorrow to try more of the main dishes, because right now it was more like snacks that I tried and juices. So yes, I'm thinking of going back tomorrow to try the main dishes.
I had the opportunity to taste the tiozafi because it's been a long time I had it. So And then there's this drink, Lamogin or something. It's my first time. I think it's great. It's a great, yes, look up. And then now, Kusia and Meko as usual. Yes, of course, yes. And I'm enjoying the whole atmosphere here, the dance, and then the competition that's going on. I love the way the staff, they're all involving themselves and they're having fun together. We expect to see more of it from Citi TV.
When as soon as I was born, I started eating spicy food.
Okay. But are you thinking of trying something else since you've been eating this regularly?
Sometimes I try. Sometimes I try something else.
But for here, do you have any favorite food you want to eat today before you go?
Maybe kebab.
Kebab.
I think it's a very good initiative that we are able to bring the family out together so that we taste food that we are not too familiar with most of the time, food that we don't eat most of the times at home. So the children get to see it and we enjoy it with other family people too. It's exciting. So I think it's something we should promote.
Some vendors who interacted with Citi News also disclosed that they had value for money.
So as we indicated to you, we have foods from all parts of the country. This is the stand for the Volta region, and so you see a lot of foods here. This is abobitadi, amadechi, fetiridechi, ewokple, abolo, yake, banku, and gobe. So we'll be going into that space. Let's speak to some of the patrons who have come already. Okay, so please tell me, what is this?
Abolo. Yes.
Charlie, forgive me. Okay, and what again do you have here?
I have yakayake, I have amadechi, I have...
Is it possible to show us?
Yeah, sure, you can.
So she's going to help us with some of the foods she's selling here. Okay, so which one is this?
Amadechi. That is spinach with egusi. Yes, please. And then we have abobitadi, popularly known as Keta Schoolboys. Yes, please.
I've gotten to know one thing.
And then I have green okro. You can go and come in 5 minutes and then you see it. And then the abolo and yakayake. We have ewokple and amokple as well. We have gobe. Yes.
My favorite. I'll come and eat that one. But then just help us. Why did you choose to be a part of this event?
I was here last year actually, and I think the whole concept of making March Ghana month is actually good to promote what we have in Ghana, to showcase what we have to the world. And I think it is helping us Ghanaians put Ghana on the map.
You were here last year. Would you say that patronage was good? For which reason you've also wanted to be a part of this year's event?
So, because it is Ghana month and your TV station and your radio station is specific on Ghanaian dishes, which a lot of people don't really have on regular basis in their homes. So coming here will actually make them have that kind of bond with the old stuff that they used to take when they were kids, but because of relocation and job, everybody have to go with the flow with fried rice and jollof rice.
Would you say it's value for money? I mean, vendors, when you come here and you sell, do you get value for money?
Absolutely. This is actually our third time. Yes, so it's really value for your money. It's honestly value for your money. It's because, I mean, we come here every year, so yeah, and then after every year we get more customers. Yes, it's a creative and an innovative opportunity for we the vendors.
It's very close to me because I hear about it every time, but I'll come and try. This one, I said, which one is this again? Okay, because I've seen it before.
To spice up the event was a brass band performance and a local music from Dromona. There was also an interbus competition where contestants were drawn from the 2022 Heritage Caravan patrons. At the end of the competition, Bus 3 representatives came top with 47 points.
So, placing first with 47 points out of 60 is bus number 3.
The Back to Your Village Food Bazaar will continue on Sunday between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. at the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly AMA building.
Wow. You should have been there in person.
Yeah.
It
the,
was
the
ecstatic.
leggable people.
It was. I loved it, and I think the
Yeah.
band really carried the crowd well. They
Yeah.
did so well.
So there's different levels to this whole thing that I saw on Saturday. All right. So there's let's say talking points from the entertainment side, right?
Right.
So then the bands, you have Dromona, we have God's Gift brass band. Just brilliant. Look, I think that we've come to this point where we don't just play our music on radio, and you know how radio is.
Yeah.
Radio, you leave radio on, and then you go around doing your things, and it's in the background
Exactly,
somewhere.
and
Nobody
it's just
really
playing.
minds radio.
Right.
But I think that we've come to this point where we really appreciate how our music resonates with our spirit, with us, who we are as a people, right? We've come to really appreciate that, and to see the engagement. It wasn't just like music is playing,
And
but
everybody's
people are
doing their,
doing
you
their
know,
own
you
thing.
know?
But we are engaging, we're dancing, we're vibing with the musicians. It was beautiful.
From the kids to
Yeah.
the adults.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
and
really enjoyed
and it's
it.
great. It's great for families to come as families also to an event like this, because talking about the music side, it allows the kids to engage with our culture on that level.
Sure.
You see, as opposed to a lot of modern music that people are listening to, and it's almost like, this is my favorite music. It's this star over here, that
Yeah.
star over here. But who are we as a people?
Sure.
So this is one of the aspects that for me resonates well with me. I loved the fact that we had people like Henry Cote come through and endorse the event, you know, and then also endorsing the station.
The station.
First in the air. I
First
love that.
in the air.
I love that. First in the air. All right.
First in the air. I think we should keep that tag.
I know, right? First in the air. So, but then there's also the endorsement of patrons.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
and so many people even calling for, you know, multiple times a year.
Yeah.
You know, but again, like Samens always says, we are primarily a media house. We're not an events company.
Exactly.
We're a media house. Our job is to highlight, to push it out there, to promote, and to get people to bite into it and run with it, you know, and make it, repeat it. And if we have more people jumping on it and doing, imagine we had 10 different organizations saying, we're going to do a version of this. Maybe not the same size,
Yes.
but a version of this. Imagine what that means to the economy of Ghana.
And what that means to the products that one sell. Like,
Yeah.
it will go far.
Yeah, you see, so, I mean, like, what Samens was saying, I mean, everything you buy puts food on somebody's table. So you have a choice to make. Either you're going to put food on the table of somebody in Malaysia,
An Asian,
or somebody
an
in Ghana.
European, or somewhere,
It's up to
or
you.
here in Ghana.
You decide.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you going to feed Malaysians or Taiwanese or Chinese, or are you going to feed Ghanaians? It's a simple choice to make.
It's buy Ghana, grow Ghana.
Yeah.
That's all I
and we're
can say.
focusing on make it Ghana. That's our focus. Make it Ghana. Everything. Just make it Ghana. You know, and again, there's always been this thing of, oh, it's not up to standard, it's not up to quality. But you see, if we don't make a conscious effort to begin and then insist on quality, look, some of the products I saw this weekend, the packaged stuff, the finished packaging, it's beautiful. I said, look, a lot of these things are ready for international market. You know,
The one that caught my eye, the palm wine. in the bottle.
The bottled palm wine?
Yes,
Yeah.
palmy or
Me
whatever.
even-
Yes, yes.
You say, so I knew the bottled palm wine already.
I didn't
right?
even know it.
Yeah. No, they came last year. So I knew that. That's Kabute. Kabute the MC.
The MC,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yes.
his business. But now I saw another product. That's palm liqueur. Sorabi. Palm liqueur.
Sorabi, yeah.
That blew my mind. I was like,
I saw
a
Sorabi
liqueur.
too. I saw Sorabi too.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you see? So for me,
and you know what it means in Ewe, right?
yes,
Yeah.
Akweteshi.
Yeah, Akweteshi.
No, Charlie, some of the things you have to find out. You have to ask the questions, the right questions, you know,
You have to
and
ask the
find out
questions,
what's
yeah.
happening there. You know, and then finally the endorsement of vendors for
Yeah.
me. It's like the vendors saying that we've more than made our money's
True.
worth, you know. It was just fantastic. But that was just day one. Let's take a look at day two.
Edition of the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar brought together people from all walks of life and a wide range of delicacies which are indigenous foods made right here in the country, from the northern through the middle belt to the southern part of the country. And this, we know, is as part of events to mark the Heritage Month of March. Well, to launch this particular event was the regional minister Henry Korte, who said that he was pledging his support to this initiative, and he says that he's going to throw his weight behind this initiative all through the year and in subsequent years. Also, the managing director of Citi FM and Citi TV, Samuel Atamensa, also explained the reason behind the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar.
Indeed, I'm very excited seeing what I'm seeing. And again, if I have to be a bit biased, that it's happening at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Gama Shikmo no Jenche. Well, for making this day possible for us, because indeed they say man proposes, but God disposes. The organizers, those who had the concepts, and indeed for us to see what they are experiencing today. This program, for me, must be encouraged so we can escalate it. By the grace of the Almighty God, and on behalf of the Regional Coordinating Council, I wish to declare that this bazaar is duly opened. It is my hope and prayer and that this place will be filled beyond human imagination.
The whole effort is to make sure that the food that we grew up knowing is brought back to the shelves. Just understand that anytime you go to the supermarket, to the shops, every food item that you pick out puts a job on the table for somebody. Now you have to decide whether you want to put a job on the table for a Ghanaian or for a Malaysian or for a Taiwanese. So the more foreign foods you buy, the more jobs you create in other countries. We want to reverse the trend, promoting our indigenous foods, and that's why we are here.
So the second day of the Food Bazaar also caught the attention of some prominent individuals in society, and for them, they say that this is one great initiative that should be commended.
I think it's a laudable one. It's something that we need to celebrate Citi for the innovation. I mean, some of the things you see here, if you don't go to the village, and how many times do we get the opportunity to go to the village? You don't get to see them. And many of these meals are getting out. You know, they're going out of stock. And I mean, for many people, their kids, they're afraid to even take their kids back to the village. So the kids actually don't go to the village. But at least we've been able to bring the kids through. They've asked questions about the meals. You've explained to them this is from the southern, from the northern. This is made with this is made with that. And the fact that you even have desserts that are local and local drinks that are healthier than the processed drinks. So it's a laudable initiative. I wish we could do this more than only once a year, so that at least we give people the opportunity to come together, if it's twice a year or every quarter. It's because you can see the patronage is high, so it's a good thing. I don't know the level of support Citi has from government on this, but I think that this should be something that the state must begin to take interest in. We're looking at the cost of importation of food. Okay, you're looking at rice importation and all of that. I saw a local Ghanaian rice stand here, Okay, and so that's good. You're marketing it, but if we build a taste for Ghanaian meals, and most of the material that is used, millets, maize, are grown locally, you're going to have a lot of import substitution. So then there'll be a ready market for people to invest in maize farms locally, because you know that there's a huge Ghanaian demand for it.
Yeah, I think that this is something you must repeat. You must do this not once in a year. It could be on a quarterly basis. I think that you need to consider that.
I would want to know, immediately you got here, what sense did you make of the whole place? Because some people say that it is taking them back memory.
Well, I've seen a few bazaars. I witnessed the pork bazaar at the trade fair somewhere in the very early 1990s. And I see that Ghanaians really love Ghanaian food. And Ghanaians will go anywhere there is a food bazaar like this. And in particular, if the quality of food is good, Ghanaians would always patronize. And so perhaps it's a day to remember, and a day people would look forward to.
It's been successful. I can say that I am amazed. I never expected it to be this big. It's huge, and it's been good. I just was talking to one of the vendors. She said, look, she's even tired. She's made her money already, and she wants to go home. But people are making requests on her. It's good. I'm particularly happy with the kids, the young ones who are here, introducing these young ones to our traditional dishes and things. It's wonderful. I think we should do that more. Some of them are enjoying themselves. They don't normally have time to go out and have this fun because they are holed up in their houses, playing games and all those things. And this is good. If we can open them up to such cultural events and traditional events, it gives them a different type of education, open them to who they are as Ghanaians. And now I think I will want to congratulate Citi for this wonderful initiative. It's marvelous.
So the second day was more like an upgrade of the very first day because patrons increased in number. Also, food vendors say that they sold out the various foods that they had brought and to sell for patrons who were available at the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's a lot of food around, so I'm just going around tasting a lot of food. What do we eat? Food?
We have tilapia.
Yeah, tilapia.
And
was it banku?
Banku.
Banku, yes. Yes.
How was the food?
Oh, it was real good. I ate the whole thing.
I think that it is the program is as advertised. There are so many vendors compared to last year. I think there are many people around now. There are many vendors. So we've gone through. We've seen that it's been very, very fantastic. Yeah. I think it's fantastic. For me personally, I'm not too adventurous with food, so I go with what I know. But going around with my wife, we've seen that there are so many different foods. We've even seen some dawa jollof we want to take home and go and try that one. So I think that there are different varieties of food for all the regions in Ghana, and I think that this is a very, very good initiative by Citi.
Forming part of Citi TV and Citi FM's Heritage Month, which comes off every year in March. This year's Back to Your Village Food Bazaar was powered by Citi FM and Citi TV and proudly sponsored by Vortic Mineral Water, Malta Guinness, Africa Business Bureau, Fortune and Mopa, Pan-African Savings and Loans, and Gino.
All right, so that was day 2 of the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar. Look, it was bigger and better than we even advertised. You know, for me, Chris, it was one of those things that you just you're like, you know what, we put in everything, but it's like, you know what, God, thank you for smiling on it.
Yeah.
Because that's how it felt.
Yeah.
It's like you did your part, and you're like, fingers crossed, and then God just smiles on you.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. And it was just beautiful, you know, to have people like, you heard Nilante van der Poel speaking there, Sylvester Mensah too was there, Sam George was there, you know, and to hear the excitement that they had. One of the things that for me resonates is something that, you know, both Sam George and Nilante van der Poel mentioned, was about the children and about their families, about the fact that it's important for the next generation to not forget who we are.
Who we are.
You know, because there's a tendency, and it's happened over the years, where we slowly inch towards foreign things, right? We slowly inch towards foreign things. And maybe for good reason, because a lot of the times if you disregard what is yours, it's not giving the value and the attention that is needed. But everybody wants something that is neat and nice, right?
Yes.
So when you don't give it value, think about it. Fast food, where is it sold?
Restaurants.
In nice air-conditioned
nice,
buildings.
posh,
Do you understand?
you know,
So
really.
it's almost like, and it's all foreign, right? So it's almost like if it's going to be fancy and nice,
then
it's one of those, right? Then our food until recently was just only street food.
True.
You see?
True.
And so if you're going to enjoy it, it will be off the streets. So then slowly, as we become more refined as a people, we sort of move away from our foods. But then you come to a place like this, at the Heritage, Heritage Month, you know, Back to Your Village Food Bazaar, and you see it's so beautifully arranged, nicely set out, no, you know, there was no congestion. Everybody could move around freely. There was space to move around. There was music. There was fun. There was drinks. There's food. There's snacks. So many options.
And I like the way every place was, you know,
nicely demarcated.
Yeah, demarcated. You know where you can get the northern foods. You know you can get the western food, and you know southern food and all that.
And then of course there was the drink sections, there were the snack sections. There was so I think that looking at how the entire thing was, the entire event was arranged and, you know, planned and all that, and how it, you know, rolled out, it was just, it worked for us. Of course, but it also worked for the vendors
and it
worked for the patrons.
Exactly.
You know,
so it worked for everybody.
Yes.
And from what I can see, I foresee a bigger event next year. So if you didn't make it this year, I think it's important for you to start gearing up for next year. And
you know, last year we actually had about 64-ish vendors, 64 vendors. This year, or 66 vendors. This year we had 94 vendors.
94 vendors.
You know, so about 50% increment in the number of vendors that we had. And even that one, it was almost like, hey, how are we going to house all these vendors in this space?
I'm thinking next year, this place might be too small for us.
Yeah. If we go beyond the number of vendors we have, it will definitely be too small. But then the question is, having held us down this long and in this way, you know, what's going to happen? And that space is very ideal.
Very, very ideal. It's just in the heart of Accra.
Yeah, and I think that, you see, for me, I like the whole synergistic relationship with these kind of partnerships, because AMA is giving us their premises. It drives a lot of traffic and attention to the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Look, the majority of us don't even pass there in our normal day. In our normal week, you will not go downtown to that area in your normal week and normal day anyway.
You know,
right?
I actually never knew where it was.
Thank you.
Until the bazaar.
Yeah,
last year.
And you are not different from a lot of people. You know, my normal day doesn't take me through that part of Accra. My normal week, I don't go there in that part of Accra. You see, so I think that synergistic relationship is important. It helps for us to be able to say, you give us a space, we bring you the
Yeah,
traffic,
yeah,
people get to
yeah.
enjoy
It's a
coming
good
downtown.
partnership, yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. Well, if you missed it, I'm sure we're going to be bringing you some, bits and pieces throughout the day on our news segments, on other standalone segments throughout the day. So you don't want to miss any of what we have on, the Heritage Month on a series, the various programming that we have for you. Citi TV is just the place to be. Like Henry Quote said, first in the air.
air.
Absolutely.